All right, in our series on math functions, we're going to take a look at three functions, which are the int, even, and odd. Now, in our previous video, we looked at the round function, round up and round down, and these are actually very similar. I would call them in the same family. So, for the int function, what this does is this will round your number to the nearest integer. In fact, if I add in a little direction column here, or direction row, the int will round your number down to the nearest integer. Integers are whole numbers. The even function will round your number up to the nearest even integer, and your odd function will round your number to the nearest odd, round it up. Okay, so what do I mean here now? If we take a look at this number and we want to round it to the nearest integer, you simply type in int, and keep in mind now that there's just one argument, which is the number itself. Okay, so we can reference that right here at A4. And what we should expect is when you round this number to the nearest integer, 8 is greater than 5, you should expect rounding to result in a number of 41. The int function, however, will round that number down, so in effect the result will be 40. Okay, so if I just show you very quickly, as a quick reference, if I were to round that number to the nearest integer, so we do that by keeping the second argument at 0, you will notice that the result will differ. 41. Okay, but in this case today we are learning about the int function, so we will keep it at 40. Okay, now the even function now will move this number, round it to the nearest even integer. No argument, no second argument, so you can type enter here. In this case, you round up 41, the nearest even integer is 42. So unsurprisingly, if we were to use the odd function, we should expect a number of 41. Okay, so how does this work with negative numbers? And this is a little bit different now. So for the integer, we treat this as a negative number. And so when we are to round down, negative 19, negative 20, negative 21, that's all lower than negative 18. The absolute number is higher, but in effect the number is lower because you're increasing it by more of a negative amount. So if we were to use the int function on a negative number, we would expect the result, as I click enter here, to be negative 19, right? But keep in mind now, it appears as though the even and the odd functions think of this number in absolute value sense. So if you think about this as an 18.95 and you are to round up to the nearest even integer, 18 rounds up to 19, but an even integer is 20, the result would be a negative 20. So this is just a slight nuance to keep in mind here. Think of the number negative 18.959, etc. in terms of an absolute value sense. So think of it as 18, and when you round to the nearest integer, round up, might I add, that would be 20. So you have a result of negative 20. And the odd works the same way as the even. So if we were to highlight this, a 5, we would expect a result of negative 19. Okay? So again, once you have your formula set up, it's very easy for you to copy it and move down your entire list consisting of your data set. Okay, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.